Everyone said it was the right decision. Your children, your doctor, even your own doubts. A nursing home seemed like the smart choice, but no one told you what it would take from you. Not just your address, but your freedom, your purpose, your voice. If you're thinking about making this move, here are 6 truths you need to hear before it's too late. Part 1. The day you moved in. You remember the day you said yes. It felt like the right thing to do, maybe even the smart thing. You were tired, your body wasn't as strong, your children were worried. Everyone said it would be safer. Just for a little while, you told yourself. And when they wheeled your bags in, when your daughter kissed your cheek and promised she'd visit every week, you tried to believe it would be fine. But now here you are, months later, wondering where your life went. And slowly you start to realize the truth. You didn't just move into a nursing home. You gave up more than a house. You gave up the parts of your life you didn't even know you'd miss until they were gone. Truth number 1, you don't lose control all at once. You lose it inch by inch. You used to wake up when you wanted, have tea in your favorite mug, open the window, feel the breeze, and decide what kind of day you'd have. Now, you wake when the nurse comes. You eat when they tell you. You take your pills at the scheduled time. Even if you're not hungry, even if you want 5 more minutes of quiet, even if your body says no, you're not in charge anymore. Not really, and at first it's just small things. Breakfast at a set hour, a knock at your door without waiting for your answer. But then, they start stacking. You stop choosing what you wear. You stop asking for different food. You stop insisting on going for a walk when it doesn't fit their schedule. Because asking takes effort, and you're tired. So slowly you stop asking altogether. And that's how your independence disappears. Not in one dramatic moment, but in a quiet surrender you didn't even mean to make. Part 2, the loneliness you didn't expect. At first, the place was full of life. Voices in the hallway, footsteps, laughter, the clinking of dishes during dinner, a steady hum of something that felt normal. And your family visited, just like they promised. Your daughter brought your favorite fruit. Your grandson showed you a funny video. They smiled and said, "It's only the beginning. You'll love it here." You smiled back. But weeks turned into months, and slowly the visits grew further apart. Your phone rang less. Your messages were left unread. And when they did visit, they checked their watch more often than before. They didn't mean to drift away, but they did. Life outside keeps moving. And you're not in it anymore. You're part of another world now. One where birthdays pass quietly, holidays are held in group dining halls, and the days blur together unless someone reminds you what day it is. You sit by the window, you hold your phone, and you wonder, should you call them? What if they're busy? What if you're interrupting? What if they answer with that tone, the one that says, "I care," but really means, "I don't have time"? So you put the phone down and you wait, just like Ruth in the common room. She told you her son was coming on Sunday. That was 3 Sundays ago. Loneliness doesn't scream, it whispers. It shows up when no one walks through the door. It settles in your chest when no one texts back. It visits at night when you stare at the ceiling and think, do they even remember I'm here? And the worst part is, you still love them. You still smile when they call, even if it's short. You say, "I'm doing fine," even when you're not. You protect them from the truth because you don't want to be a burden. But deep down, a quiet truth keeps growing. You're no longer part of their everyday, and maybe you never will be again. Part 3, you don't wake up with purpose anymore. There was a time when your days had rhythm, not just routines, but meaning. Feed the cat, check the mailbox, tend to your plants, fold towels just the way you like them, take your tea out to the porch. Little things, but they were yours. They made you feel capable, necessary, real. Now, someone else does the laundry. Someone else prepares your meals. Someone else reminds you to take your medicine. Your job now is waiting. You wake up and wonder, what's today for? Not because you're sad, not even because you're bored, but because there's nothing to reach for. No garden to tend, no groceries to pick up, no neighbors to wave to on your walk. And after a while, rest turns into stillness. And stillness turns into fog. There was a man who used to sit near your room. He used to talk about his workshop, said he built cabinets with his own hands, painted each one, knew the smell of sawdust like his own breath. But now, his hands are always in his lap, and his eyes barely leave the floor. You asked him once why he stopped painting. He said, "I don't know who I'd be painting for." And in that one sentence, you saw yourself. Because when there's nothing left to build, to clean, to plan, to share, you start to forget what you're here for. They try to keep you busy. Bingo, arts and crafts, balloon volleyball, and you smile. You participate. But deep down, it feels like a performance. Because what you truly miss isn't activity. You miss being useful, being needed, being someone who still matters to someone else. So now ask yourself, what's still giving you purpose? What's still calling you out of bed? If the answer is silence, that's not your fault, but it's something you can't ignore. Because when you no longer have something to care for, to protect, to offer, your spirit doesn't just slow down, it begins to fade. Part 4, strength fades faster than you think, and leaving isn't so simple. Truth number 4, when you stop moving, you start disappearing. You weren't a marathon runner, but you could stand on your own. You could walk the length of your house, cook your own meals, water the garden, climb a few steps. You moved, maybe slowly but surely. Now, you sit more than you stand. Your legs ache after a few steps. You hesitate before getting out of bed. You need help for things you used to do without thinking. It didn't happen overnight. The first week, it felt like a break. Meals delivered to your table. Laundry done for you. No sweeping, no bending, no worrying. At first, you thought, this is nice. I deserve this. But your muscles didn't think so. They shrank. Because the less you move, the less your body expects to move. And when that happens, you begin losing what you spent decades building. One morning, you try to get up from a soft chair and realize you can't. Not easily. You push with your arms, feel your knees tremble, feel your balance waver. And for a moment, you wonder, when did this get so hard? Then quietly another thought creeps in. Will it ever feel easy again? You look around. Others who walked in on their own, now using walkers. Others who smiled during morning walks, now barely making it to meals. Others who said, I'll keep moving, no matter what, now seated, silent, still. You promised yourself the same thing once, but it turns out willpower isn't enough when your environment is designed for stillness. Everything here is meant to help you, but sometimes help is exactly what makes you weaker. Because when nothing is required of you, you stop requiring strength from yourself, and that is when strength disappears the fastest. Ask yourself now, are you still challenging your body to keep going? Or have you started letting comfort take over? Because the longer you sit, the more your legs forget how to stand. And the longer you let go of effort, the harder it is to find your way back to ability. Truth number 5, leaving is harder than you thought. You told yourself this was temporary, just a few months, just until things felt safer. You'd keep your home, maybe rent it out. You'd go back. You truly believed it. But now, your home feels far away. You're not as strong as you used to be. The stairs back there look steeper than ever. The idea of managing alone feels more like a dream than a plan. And your family, they mean well. But when you say you're thinking of going back, They say, "Are you sure, Mom? We just want you to be safe. You're doing fine here. Let's wait a bit longer." What they don't say out loud is this: they've adjusted to your absence, to this new routine, to this place being your new home. And the longer you stay, the more they believe this is where you belong. But you remember what you had: the smell of your favorite chair, the sun hitting the corner of your kitchen table in the morning, the feeling of being in charge of your own world. And you miss it badly, but saying it out loud now sounds dramatic or even ungrateful, because here you're being taken care of. So what more could you want? You want freedom, dignity, choice, the movement, a sense of self. But truthfully, you might not get those back, because the longer you've been here, the harder it is to leave. Your body isn't the same, your spirit is tired, your house might be gone, your savings might be stretched thin, and just like that, something that once felt reversible now feels like forever. Final reflections. The quiet truth. No one warned you about, no one lied to you. They just didn't tell you the full truth, that a nursing home can offer safety, but sometimes at the cost of your identity, that you can be cared for and still feel invisible, that you can be surrounded by people and still feel deeply alone, that your days can be full and yet entirely empty. If you could go back, you'd ask more questions, explore more support at home, set clearer boundaries, speak more honestly about what you truly needed. But now, you sit with this truth. You didn't fail. You just forgot that your life was still yours to shape. And to the person watching this now, if you're considering a nursing home for yourself or someone you love, please remember, safety is important, but so is purpose, so is freedom, so is waking up and feeling like yourself. Ask harder questions, listen more closely to your instincts. Don't confuse rest with resignation. Don't confuse being alive with truly living, because once you cross that line, it's harder than you think to return.